What if a house wasn't a shelter from the world, but a calibrated instrument for living inside it? And what if one of the most radical domestic experiments of modern architecture was not designed for a family, not for comfort, not even for permanence, but for a mind in exile? Because this story does not begin with mass housing, nor with suburban dreams. It begins with displacement, with a woman who belonged nowhere and an architect who believed architecture could regulate the human nervous system. This is the Shire House, designed by Richard Neutra in 1933, perched in the Hollywood Hills of Los Angeles. Not a house for retreat, but a house for exposure. Los Angeles in the early 1930s was not yet a city of monuments. It was a city of movement. Automobiles cut across hills that had only recently become habitable. The film industry was still inventing itself. Immigrants arrived daily, artists, architects, thinkers, many fleeing a Europe on the brink of catastrophe. There was no architectural tradition to obey here, no stone to imitate, no past to protect. For modernists, Los Angeles was not a place of culture, it was a laboratory. And nowhere was this clearer than in the Hollywood Hills. Steep, unstable terrain where gravity itself seemed negotiable. This was where Galka Scheyer chose to live. Galka Scheyer was not simply a client, she was a force, an art dealer, a curator, a cultural courier moving between continents. Born in Germany, Jewish, intellectually restless, Shire devoted her life to championing modern art, especially the Blue Four. Paul Klee, Wassily Kandinsky, Lyonel Feininger, and Alexej von Jawlensky. She lived between Europe and America, between abstraction and survival, between thought and precarity. Shire did not want a cozy house. She wanted a platform, a place to work, to exhibit, to host displaced intellectuals, to think aloud. A house that could function simultaneously as studio, gallery, salon, and observatory. And she wanted it built on a steep, unforgiving hillside, a site that offered no comfort, no safety, no margin for error. Richard Neutra was the only architect who could understand that request. By 1933, Neutra had already broken decisively from architecture as style. For him, modernism was not visual, it was biological. He believed architecture should operate like a medical instrument, measuring light exposure, modulating airflow, reducing stress, regulating the nervous system. He spoke of architecture in physiological terms: nerves, fatigue, equilibrium. The house for Neutra was not symbolic. It was a prosthetic extension of the human body. The Scheyer House would become one of his most precise and unforgiving experiments. The site was brutal. A steep slope plunging toward the city below. Unstable soil, difficult access. He perched the house lightly against the hillside, lifting it on slender steel supports. The ground passes beneath the structure uninterrupted. The house does not sit on the land, it floats beside it. The ideology is clear: modern life is not about protection, it is about awareness. The Shire House is long, narrow, and linear. Its plan stretches parallel to the horizon, tracking the curvature of the hillside. The primary facade is almost entirely glass, continuous, operable glazing that dissolves the boundary between inside and outside. This is not transparency as luxury, it is transparency as mental hygiene. The house frames Los Angeles like a cinematic panorama. The city becomes a moving image. Light shifting, night dissolving into constellation. Shire lived alone, but she was never isolated. The city was always present, always watching, always watched. Inside, nothing is excessive. Rooms are compact, circulation is tight, dimensions feel exact, calibrated, intentional. This is not a house designed to soothe, it is designed to activate. Sliding panels dissolve boundaries. Built-in furniture eliminates clutter. Walls express thinness, not mass. The house feels less like refuge and more like an instrument panel. Neutra believed comfort dulled perception. Life orbits around terraces and operable windows. The outdoors is not framed, it is absorbed. Sunlight floods the interior. Cross-ventilation is constant. The body is never fully protected. For Neutra, this was health. Modern life, Neutra believed, demanded consciousness. Shire hosted artists, writers, émigrés, European intellectuals displaced by war, American modernists searching for clarity. The house became a node, a transmitter of ideas between continents. This is the unresolved tension at the heart of Neutra's modernism. Architecture can optimize the body. The Shire House was never widely copied. It was too personal, too demanding, too precise, but its ideas echoed forward. The house as viewing device, the house as health machine, the house as interface between body and environment. Neutra would refine these ideas in later works, but here the tension is raw, unfiltered. The Shire House does not promise comfort. It offers clarity. It does not shelter you from the world. It asks you to face it in light, in exposure. If this journey into the Shire House reshaped how you think about modern living, subscribe to Space, Shape, and Scale. One building, one idea at a time. And in our next episode, we move from exposure to enclosure, from hillside solitude to urban density. Glass brick, steel, urban modernism under compression. Click to continue the chronological journey, because architecture never stops testing us, and neither should we stop questioning it.